this moon of Gemini and Sagittarius. And this full moon, what it is it's an opposition. It's the sun in Sagittarius opposing a moon in the energy of Gemini. And so that's 180 degrees. And if you want to know the aspect, this is the dynamic between communicating, sharing wisdom, sharing belief systems, everything that Sagittarius stands for and sheds light on, and self-expression for the sake of self-expression, which is Gemini. I'm very familiar with this energy because it can be very overwhelming, right? And like up and stuck in the head. And it can also be very real and very polarizing because it is the twins. And I love this illustration here of Gemini because there's a feminine quality to it. Gemini is usually a masculine sign, but with our moon, a feminine energy pushing her wisdom through the filter of Gemini. We have this more feminine side to the sign and this duality. So in this way, we kind of explore and enter this period of the giving process and the receiving process too. And, it's the holidays and there's this lighthearted, childlike essence to this exchange. But again, there's a difference between communicating for sharing wisdom that will benefit and be received by the collective versus releasing simply to express and let out. And that doesn't necessarily have to be received, but it is meant to be released and externalized. These are both very masculine concepts, right? There's the sense of giving in output to provide and releasing when the masculine just needs to flare up and do the fire and air energy thing magic. But I also related it to dinner table conversation and this concept of what is truth. And as a society lately, we are very obsessed with truth and information and facts and what is real. So this is just something to be aware of and sensitive with yourself about, and just sort of gentle too, taking the pressure off, right? Keeping that childlike bubbliness present with all of the intensity that can come up during this time. Take those things in stride and really just sort of chew on things, right? This is also why I said dinner table conversation, because it's seeing information and words and wisdom as nourishment and things to chew on and process before, spitting it back out or inhaling the whole thing, right? Alongside this, we have this breath of fresh air energy, which is just fueling the fire of Sagittarius even more so. This is starting to be what I was just talking about with creating your reality, and what we consider to be real is shifting because of how we think. So with all this air energy, communication, the mind, it can be very easy to get stuck in your head and let your great ideas that Gemini and Aquarius have stay there and sort of float in the ether, if you will. But with this particular aspect, a trine is very comfortable. It's two of the same element coming together to create change, especially with Jupiter, because Jupiter is expansion, prosperity, abundance. And there's this feeling here that we are learning how to communicate for the collective, which sounds really big and really intimidating, but it's also really just fun. It's just discussion. It's what the philosophers of ancient Greece did, basically. Like, that's this kind of energy, is we are creating new beliefs together. We're coming together at the dinner table and saying, wow, look at all these different beliefs. There's some are opposing, some are trining. We have the dinner table of the zodiac at our disposal right now, and it's important to really gain wisdom from every corner, even the ones, especially the ones that make you uncomfortable. I should know. I've been uncomfortable a lot this week. And also, coinciding with that, put in the chat what your wishes are for humanity. But I mean, like, what are your present moment wishes, right? Like, your gift is the best presents. What do you see unfolding right before your eyes? And what are you calling out into being? We were looking at the trends of cryptocurrency and comparing it to the trends of the different planets. And Jupiter is a particularly interesting one to track because, as I said, it's expansion, it's prosperity, and it's our collective understanding of belief systems and paradigms and realities. So if you're ever looking to change your relationship with money and change your belief system around it, Jupiter's the one to check out. Just looking ahead within the next 5 days or so, we are shifting into Capricorn season. This is a season of solar rebirth because the winter solstice, it is the shortest day of the year and the darkest day of the year for that same reason in the northern hemisphere. We are tilted away from the sun right now. So we're sort of like backing up from the sun just after he's gone through, these eclipses with us. And interestingly enough, we're also experiencing solar flares right now, if I'm not mistaken. So there's this interesting theme about the sun and the overarching identity of humanity and how we resonate with each other. And anyway, before I get on too big of a tangent with that, it's also Capricorn. This is the constellation of Capricorn where this season gets its energy from, its origins. And this is the goat. I'm not going to get into like huge details with it other than saying that I do mean the animal, the goat, as well as the greatest of all time, because Capricorn wants to be, and really is, the greatest of all time. Shout out to my caps in the chat. So this energy is all about masterful creation, and self-mastery is part of that, as well as motivation and discipline. And if you want to learn more about the dualities between these, I highly suggest that you attend our seasonal shift event this week. It's going to be absolutely stellar, and I'm very excited to be holding that sacred space for this energy to filter through. So if you're feeling very stuck in your head right now and very all over the place and speeding up with the energy, your fire is burning your air and your air is fueling your fire, it's perfect because we are approaching Earth energy and we will be anchoring soon, I can assure you. And you can always anchor into the present moment now with your energy. So much love, and thank you for listening to the astrology forecast.